Okay, everyone, just wanted to go ahead and welcome you to our webinar today. This is going to be a quick and easy one. We are doing two things, and they are both in the MLS. We're going to do a couple MLS classes over the coming weeks because what we're finding out is that there are some people that are really not using the MLS to the full ability. And they're learning also, we're learning that people are not taking the time to truly get the full extent of their marketing out. They're just simply cloning listings. They're not doing a full analysis of what a property could be sold as. And we're just seeing some, what I would call lazy marketing. And we get like that in this market, is that we put things on the MLS in a rush. We don't think about what we're saying. We don't think about what it looks like. We are in a rush to get it on the market. And that is one of the biggest mistakes we can make. So I'm going to show you a couple different techniques today to make your property more powerful, make the description better. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Before we do, I do want to say one thing. We got another record week of residuals, here. I just got all the emails, and you probably got emails too. Lots of people getting residuals this week, so pretty impressive stuff. Just wanted to share that with you before we begin. We're really doing a lot of business this year, and you guys are getting 10% residuals. So congratulations, anybody got that email today. Donna Crane, I know you're on this call, and I do believe you got one. So congratulations. So here we begin. I noticed, I think earlier this spring was when I first caught that there were agents in our office and in the industry that were not really utilizing the full remarks section in the MLS. And what I want to stress to you is what happens now when you take a listing. What happens now when you take a listing, you are actually, when you put in that remarks section, you are also syndicating to exit e-listings. You're also syndicating to Zillow. You're also syndicating to Realtor.com. We know that the vast majority of web traffic, I mean the vast majority of web traffic, is going to Zillow and Realtor.com when you're talking about real estate. So why are you not giving full descriptions for Zillow.com, Realtor.com, and exit e-listings? Why are you not giving full property descriptions? What I mean by that is, let's pull up one of my old listings. Let's pull up 4849 Kenmore. And I'm going to throw myself under the bus with this. I'm going to show you how I did it before wrong and how I've adjusted to do it right. So 4849 North Kenmore, the first time I listed it, I cloned the listing from somebody else. So if you look, 4849 North Kenmore, number 2, someone else had sold it, and their remarks, they had a terrible picture. So look at this picture, not appropriate picture. And they had some pretty basic remarks here. This is a neighborhood that really could be described a lot better than this. But here's what they threw together. Perfect condition, 2-bed, 2.1 bath on tree-lined Kenmore Street. Spacious rooms with Sunny Explorer, hardwood floors throughout. Not really that much of a dialogue. It's spitting out description. And this is actually one of the better examples I can give you. I'm going to give you an even worse description later. Why this looks like this is because originally the MLS had a very small remarks section, And so what you'd see is abbreviations, you'd see not a lot of description of the area, you would see people spitting out details on finishes. That has been the historical trend in the industry. We want to get you away from that. We want to get you into a narrative, because now we know when you go on Zillow, when you go on Realtor.com, this remarks section becomes the storyline that supports your pictures. So when you are going to put something on the MLS, you want a fantastic picture of the front. You want fantastic pictures throughout the inside. You want all of that day one, and the remarks done correctly day one. So let me show you what really good remarks should look like. So again, what we're doing with these that's wrong is we're racing to get the picture out. We're racing to get the listing out. We're putting up one picture. We're cloning the listing. Now, Laura can clone the listing for you right at our front desk. Laura can clone the listing for you right at the front desk, but you need to give Laura new remarks. And if this property has never been listed before on the MLS, you need to come up with all the remarks. What agents are doing wrong, they're reusing pictures, or they're taking one bad picture of the front. So what I've done here this time with this listing, I've taken high quality pictures. These are from VizHome. I've taken high quality pictures. I've also inserted a copy of the floor plan, and I've gone at length to describe the area. Now, this is a tenant-occupied unit, not particularly one of my favorite tenants, but we still get a full picture of the house, including the floor plan. So all of that is in there on day one. And I went in there and I went fully in with the description, a narrative. So I didn't just spit out finishes. I didn't just rewrite my notes. I went in, and here's actually how I do it. I go into either the notes section on my phone, if I'm doing this in a real hurry, or if I'm sitting down and I have a lot of time, I open up my Gmail. I open up my email, and I start an email to myself. So I email myself, and what I do is I make a narrative. So I don't spit out information. I say, if I lived in this house, what would be my favorite things? If I lived in this house, what would be my favorite things? So here's what I say this time around. What a value. The only 2-bedroom in the area with an extra half bath and 2 outdoor spaces. I've automatically made this more important than the other ones. I've automatically given why this is special. That should be right up front. Just like you as an agent, what's your value proposition? What's the value proposition of this home? So instead of just spitting out details, I'm saying walk into this exceptionally laid out property. I still mention beautiful tree lines, Kenmore Street, and realize you found the best gem in the area. I'm really selling the property. I'm giving a narrative instead of just spitting out the details. I'm giving out reasons why it's special. I am discussing the finishes, but then I'm going into detail a little bit further. I'm talking about how bright it is. I'm talking about the room sizes. And I'm talking about the details of the building. So a lot of people are so focused on the unit that they think they can only spit out a couple 100 characters. You now have much more room than you used to. You have a lot of room in this space. So because you have all this room in this space, you've got to be able to go in here and really describe details about the area. So 3 blocks to the L, a short walk to the lake, shops, restaurants, more. I really want to go into detail about anything that makes this area special. Talk about the summer breezes if you're near the lakefront, or if you're in an area that it's only 5 minutes to the highway. What is the spin and the catch? What makes this particular unit amazing? I ask my sellers to proofread this because I'd like to hear their input too. So I'm not rushing in and cloning a listing, sending it out, and then having my seller see it on Zillow and go, well, wow, I didn't like that description, or you missed the fact that X, Y, Z. I'm having them read this, and I'm having them approve this. So that's in the regular remarks. Then in the agent remarks, I'm going over the building health. How many times do you, as an agent, get tons of questions about the health of the building, or if it's vacant land, about the zoning, or if it's a multi-unit building, about the leases that you have not answered? I want everything answered right here. So I put in the building reserve information. I talk about any special assessments. I talk about the rental policy of the building. I talk about the number of units rented in the building. So I really break it down into detail. I'm going to give you another example of this. We're going to go to another listing of mine. And again, I'm going to throw myself under the bus and show you what I've done differently my second time around. So let's go into another property of mine, 433 Briar. So I have unit 4B on the market right now. So again, I have unit 4B on the market right now. We're going to go ahead and pull this up here. And previously, 4B had also sold another time. We're going to pull that listing up first. So here was an example of the old one. 30% sold, price reduced, developer special, delivery, terrible abbreviations. If you allowed this to be cloned, this would be what people get. I can't even read some of this stuff. And this is what people sit here and see when they read about this stuff. Now, this is not the era of new construction. This is the era of a dialogue and a narrative. So you have to get this right. So don't clone your listings without looking at these remarks and changing them. So what we did, we went back in there after I caught this. So this is the original listing. And then I went in and I made it a narrative about the area and about what makes this so special. And again, great outside pictures, Viz Home, big outside pictures, very nice wide angle lens room pictures, some really big finished pictures. And then that's going to be supported in the dialogue as I go through and physically talk about the property. There's my floor plans at the end. I did include pictures of the storage space, the front of the building, and the common area as well. This is great if you've got, again, more pictures than ever. You're allowed more pictures than ever. The MLS is begging you to do this. So get as many pictures. I'd say 25 if you can. I've only got 22 on this one. I'd say more. So here's what I did with the dialogue. Step into old world charm with this spectacular vintage home filled with modern amenities just steps from the lake. I am painting a picture of the area, what makes it special. Expansive floor plan. I gave the date of the building's original construction, recently rehabbed, talking about what's special. I did go into the finishes, but they're all spelled out except for one. I've talked about the washer dryer in the unit, the floor plan, what makes it special. See tour for full details. That's, remember, hinting to people that there's a tour. And then I talk about the building's special features and the school district. So again, I'm really breaking down everything that the consumer wants. For the agents, again, to save time and to give a full picture for the agents, I'm breaking down for the agents the full information on the building. Here we go. There is a special assessment in this building. So in the agent remarks, not in the client remarks, in the agent remarks, I fill out this information. This would be another great place to talk about the roof, if the roof is older, anything like that. Any information that the consumer, you probably don't want them necessarily to see up front, but an agent is going to ask you. This saves you time. This saves you lots of time. As you're getting a new listing on the market, you can say, see agent remarks, over and over and over again. So we really want to focus on that. Okay, so we break that down. Rental cap, we talk about owner occupancy in the building reserves, and rental parking in the area. I do not on my listings put no parking. If there's rental parking in the area, I say parking yes, but it is not included in the price. And then I list those details in the agent remarks. So that's the down and dirty, quick on the agent remarks section and the general remarks section. You've got to make this stuff into a narrative. If you don't make this into a narrative, you suffer when you go on Zillow, when you go on Realtor.com. You've got to go on these sites. And I'm going to go on Zillow for a second, and I'm just going to show you what some things look like on here. A good listing should really have all the information that you need to make a decision online. I mean, as many pictures as possible and this full narrative. So let's pull up one of my listings. Okay, hold on, we're going to pull up the right one. This may take a moment since we are in a busy area over here. We're going to go down to 60657 and pull up what we can find. And again, if you're not looking up your own listings on Zillow, and actually here's the best way to do it. Go to Google and pull it up there. See, I've done this before. Okay, so 433 West Briar. Pull it up on all the different sites. It's going to pop up right away on Zillow. It should pop up on Trulia, and it's going to pop up on Realtor.com. Look at what it looks like. So There we go. Obviously, because this is already marked as pending, it is no longer a active listing, so we're not getting the views we were. But you can, as a Zillow agent, track what's going on in here. And this has got to be one of your key things you do. You go in here and you want to see what it looks like as the public. How do the pictures look? So here we go. Even though I've got a pending offer, all my information's still up. Now, this is something else you want to catch in here. If you're the listing agent and you have no reviews, guess what? They're probably going to still click on somebody else. You want to make sure that you've got a good presence on Zillow and on Realtor.com, and especially on Zillow, because they're not giving you information about, on Zillow, they're giving you information of other agents in addition to yourself. So you really want to make sure that you look good, all the information is correct, all the facts and features, the homeowner's assessments, all of that information. And again, make sure that all your information is correct. And as you go through here, you've actually got the ability to do a video if you have the Zillow app on your phone, the Zillow Premier Agent app on your phone. Again, the Zillow Premier Agent app on your phone, you can do a video, which Zillow is now showing a preference for when you are on Zillow. So be aware of that. Same thing on Realtor.com. Make sure that the pictures look good. Make sure your description looks good. So here we go again. Here is my description. So look at this. This is a full description of the property. If you just got a bunch of mess in here, a bunch of the cloned information or very little information on the property, nobody's going to want to see that. You've got to have full good pictures and a great detail on it in order to get people to interact with you. And again, same thing on Realtor.com. Those are the two main sites. I'm going to do one more bonus thing for you here since you are on the line. I am hearing that some of you are not doing your MLS searches the right way. So we've talked about listings. I want to talk about one other thing. That you guys are going in, some of you, and you are spending a tremendous amount of time searching for clients instead of doing the auto prospecting search. Here's the difference. When you go in and you search for a client and you send them listings, you are sending it to them one time. So in other words, when you are going in and you're sending people listings or you're handpicking listings for them, you are doing it once. A few of you I know are actually doing this time after time. And so you are creating a tremendous amount of work for yourself. Just like we showed you just now, how to make your life easier by doing the remarks section a certain way and doing the agent remarks section so that you don't have so many questions from other agents about a building or about a property. You can also automate your life tremendously by using the prospecting manager. So right in your MLS, there is the prospecting manager. Now let me show you here. If you're watching this video and you are getting a little confused or you want more information, there is a button up at the top. There's a couple magical buttons up at the top that you can work with. So there is the prospecting manager, which again, that's right down here and right up here. That's going to help you set up searches that are automated, that run daily. They can run twice a day. There's also the realist button to pull up tax information on the property. If you don't know how to get tax information on a property, there it is right there, the realist button. Most importantly, tools, resources, and links. The Connect MLS tutorials. So this button right here, the little tool button, go into Connect MLS tutorials right up here. And you will not believe the amount of things you can learn about Connect MLS and about MRAD in general. Connect MLS, a huge amount of information. Adding listings. Want to know how to add a listing? There it is. Want to know how to do a CMA? There it is. Want to know how to do property search? There it is. But I'm going to show you very quickly how to do the property search the smart way and get all your clients on a prospecting manager search. So what I like to do is I go in and I see, once I've set up a search for people, how often are they looking? Because this search is running daily, if not twice a day. So if you've got people logged in and you've created their search, you can see when the last time it was run. So see where I've got this highlighted, when the last time it was run, the last time it was viewed, when it was created, and when it expired. Now, for those of you guys that don't have enough appointments for the weekend, why are you not on Wednesday going into your prospecting manager, looking at those auto prospecting searches. For example, Alan and Nancy, I haven't taken them out in a while. Their search ran. They looked at it last, so this viewed on the 23rd of June. So let's click on their information and see if they've got any selected. Look, they've got something they've picked maybe. Some people they've picked a bunch. And look at this. They haven't even read some of these. I owe them a text or a phone call to say, hey, I see you've got one picked out. Do you want to go see it? There's actually some new ones you haven't looked at. Do you want to go see those as well? So that's what we've got to do with people. So for example, here's another person, Alan Lee. He was logged in on the 24th. It sent him some new ones. Let's see what he's picked out. He's picked out a bunch of stuff. Look at all this. I haven't shown him any of this stuff. We've got to get out there and look. So especially these two new ones he's picked out, these may go quick. This is a conversation. That is why we have call day on Thursday, guys. You've got to get in touch with people. They're not always going to contact you. They're busy. They're distracted. And then all of a sudden they see an open house and they walk in and they buy that open house because they had a search set up with you and you haven't been touching base with them. This is why we use the auto prospecting tool. So let me show you how easy it is to use. You go under search, just you would like to do any search. And I'm going to say, I want a single family home. Let's pretend I want a single family home. That my client wants a single family home. I'm going to go in, I'm going to pick out just everything that's currently active. So I don't want anything off market, contingent, or pending. I just want anything active, back on the market, new, price changed, or reactivated. So obviously if something's reactivated, I want to see it. And then I'm going to go in, for purposes of this example, I'm going to say this is in Lakeview. This is where I live. And because it's a single family home, I'm going to say, let's see if there's anything, because that's such an expensive area, south of $800,000. Let's do the count first. Say there's 9. So we know that this is probably going to be quick inventory. In that neighborhood, an $800,000 single family home is going to go quick. Most of them go over $1 million. But my client can only afford up to $800,000. By the way, if he can afford $800,000, I'm probably going to go to $820, because I know that I'm a great negotiator, and that even in a hot market, I probably can still do some negotiating. So I'm kind of watching over here and seeing how many things come up. And if I wanted to include garage spaces or further information, maybe if I also wanted to make sure, if it's in a condo building, I know we're looking at detached single families, but in a condo building, you could add or remove assessment fields, total number of units, all kinds of things you could add or remove fields by doing that over here and dragging them over. But for purposes of this example today, I think this is enough. So you can go in and you can count the results or view the results. And what a lot of people do is they go in and do that, and then they go and they email the listings to their client. They go and email the listings to their client, and that's all. It never does another thing. That is a one-time search. Huge mistake. So what we're going to go in and do instead, we're going to save this search. So we're going to go in and actually, just for fun today, I'm actually going to truly go ahead and save this search completely. I'm going to do it for myself. And I'm going to say anything up to $600,000. Maybe I'm really in that neighborhood, and there's only 2 right now, but I'm just curious what's going on over there. So I'm going to save this search, and I'm going to call it Nick Libert Single Family Homes. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't allow symbols in that, but it does allow a description. And select a client. If you do not have that client selected yet, you can go in and add that client. I do have myself selected. But if you click a new client, you put the first name, last name, email, and then their cell phone number. That's all I want in there. I do like to show my client on a map where this property is. If this is a hot area, I'm going to do this. You can do, now look at this. This is new. Real time. That means that is sending constantly. This is brand new. So you could run it again as well. I like to do it though at certain specific times. So for example, I'm going to do it daily. If you have a client that's not very motivated and they say, I don't want to get daily emails, I don't want to get bombarded, say do it every 3 days or once a week. Never more than once a week, but I'd say at least once a week. Because what happens is they do look at this. You can track them looking at it. I just showed you how to do it. You can track them looking at it, and you'll be able to go in and say, hey, what are you looking at, or what are you not looking at? What's going on? But that's how I do it, is at least weekly, but most of the time daily. And in a hot market, I'm going to do it twice a day. I'm going to do it at 7 a.m. and I'm going to do it at 5 p.m. Here's why. I know that in some offices, they don't allow the agents to input their own listings. They make the office secretary or admin do it, and that the office admin only does it during business hours. I know other agents don't have an office admin like Laura who will do it for you, and that they have to do it themselves. So you can here at Exit, you can choose either way to do it. There's no charge or issue or difference either way. But at some companies, they don't have that option. So I want to make sure I get everybody I possibly can. So I'm going to go ahead and save this search. I'm going to make it sure that it doesn't expire for a while, so I'm going to keep it at the 120 days max. I can send myself a notification, but that would drive me nuts. I would send a notification when the client, so the search runs obviously for the client. And then I would not send a notification if there's nothing new, unless this client is highly anal, okay? Unless this client is highly anal and is very, wants something immediately and is convinced that you're not sending them everything. That's when I'd send that notification search. Okay, so that is it. You then just press save and you're done. Very, very easy. So you should be doing this for all of your clients. My goal for you is to get them off of your email, off of your Facebook, off of wherever they are talking to you, and as soon as possible into a phone buyer consult and get their criteria. Same way with Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin leads, get them off of whatever other site they're on, get them into your Connect MLS so their time is between them and you. One more note before we go. And obviously, if you have any questions, you are welcome to ask them right now. I'm going to actually probe and see if we have any questions. But as we do that, one more thing. When you go in under settings, I would love to see you go in and actually update your profile. So this is something that is very, very easy to do. You can go in and update your profile at any time. And all you do is go in under setup. So see what I did? You go in under setup. And there should be a picture of you, your title, your information, and your bio. Now your bio should be cut and paste off your LinkedIn. It is the exact same thing over and over again in all your different social media, in your MLS. If you don't have a bio that's talking about your passion, what you love to do, maybe some awards if you won them, your background, any other relevant backgrounds, you are missing out. So that bio goes out every time you send out an email through the MLS. Let's make sure that it's consistent. You have an updated picture and you have all your social media on there. So look at all the different boxes over here. Very, very easy to configure this. All I really want you to focus on is modify the contact information and your social media profile all under setup. So that is it. 30 minutes, almost to the dot. We don't have any questions. So we've covered descriptions in the MLS, what not to do and what to do, making narratives, powerful property descriptions, making sure that they are also in your Zillow and your Realtor.com. And we've covered making sure you are on automatic prospecting searches, as well as setting up your basic profile. So I think we've got a lot on here for the basics. This will be recorded, whoever this person is that just viewer 5, yes, it will be recorded. Actually, it was just recorded. Frank, thank you. Good. We'll see you tomorrow too. We'll talk more at the event. But yes, we have, this is about to be sent out to everybody as soon as we're done here. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will talk to everyone soon. Thanks for coming.